Hey guys, what's up? Hold on, figuring all my shit out here. That was awesome. We haven't had a guest on the Funker 530 live show since we had Frank Plum on. Who remembers the Frank Plum stream? Little Eggs, thanks for the 9 months. Tony, thank you for the 12. Mowbray, thank you for the 10 months. Holy shit, 10 and 12 months. I continue to forget that I have been on YouTube for that long. Oh my goodness. Do tap on the like button. I forgot to remind everybody over on the other side. I don't know what we're doing. I don't know. Do we want to play? Do we want to do games tonight? I purposefully chose the thumbnail for a reason because I don't know what we're gonna do. Great stream tonight. Good. Ronnie Civ Div hot tub stream. Well, I guess he could fit in just about any bathtub that I'm in. You know. Hold on. I wonder. Oh, I don't have the video over here. I should have showed you guys the recording I made while we were setting up all the streams because it definitely was two village idiots trying to figure stuff out. How'd the overlays and stuff go? I had a couple issues with that. What do you think about the overlays? They're more complicated than you think, right? I'm running the stream. We're running the video capture with him, the desktop capture for the footage, all over one box. And this stream, I have a 2 PC setup to actually simplify things. Over there, it's running off of one, and that I'm way too dumb. Stream tonight was golden. Good. What's this channel about? I was just watching the other Funker channel. So this is my personal channel where after the Funker stream, well, I've been streaming here with this community for since 2018. We play a lot of games. We hang out. We raise money for veteran charity. We've done $45,000 to veteran charities. Speaking of which, we might be able to order the next PC for charity tonight. What's up, Mr. Ease? Do some Tarkov tonight? And if you guys would like to support that, we'll be starting up our next drive for a PC at the beginning of the year. We will have done 2 PCs this month. COD. Okay. What's up, boss? What's going on, man? Doesn't matter what you do tonight. Oh, I'm hanging out. We're hanging out for a little bit. My favorite was RonnieCeption. Oh, at the end there? Yeah, that was a screen capture issue. DCS even? DCS even. Banana rating on the Funker stream. Is that 10 bananas? Nice. Hell Let Loose? I don't even think I haven't played Hell Let Loose in forever. What's up, Spets? Over or under on Streets release for Friday? I think they do it. Where I'm struggling right now is whether or not I'm actually going to, jump back into Tarkov right away. I've got a lot of time in Tarkov, guys. Like a lot. And regardless, I'm going to end up playing it. You know, whether or not I stick with it the whole wipe like I have historically up until this last wipe. That's all I played. That's all I did, you know. And this it just hit me. I was like, I can't do this anymore. You know, it's the same game. You know, this wipe would have been the 7th, 4,000 some odd hours in the game. Ronnie been in the military but served Baskin Robbins for 6. Can I get a thank you for my service? Baskin Robbins is delicious. Thank you for your service, Stedman. Appreciate it. I'm here for the new bathroom selfie poses. I got the Funker DCS server running, good old 1v1 and 2v2s going. Once I have the brain power to apply against DCS and the subsequent backseat driving that DCS will bring, we'll be jumping back into it. What's the opening theme song? That song's called Hyperdrive. Hyperdrive. Play horror game. Like what? Like what would be a good example of one? Barbie Horses. Is that an actual game? Is that a thing? Oh, so by the way, I'm also connecting CivDiv with some folks from a gear perspective too. Funker's tweaking the file out. Rome Total War Remastered. Oh man, I was playing some Total War earlier. Doing a Bretonia campaign. Oof. Yes. Cyberpunk. I do have Cyberpunk. Ever thought of playing Star Citizen? Yeah, I did think I was going to play Star Citizen for a little while. Like I looked into it and then just stopped looking into it. Minecraft. I can't stand Minecraft. I'm not creative enough to get any enjoyment out of Minecraft. I'm just not. Like I've tried playing it. It's just blocks to me. Like I just can't wrap my head around what I want to do in there. I know there's like pre-made ways that you can play Minecraft. I just get no enjoyment out of it. You could try Rust. I have played a little bit of Rust. What's up, Marius? Playing Star Citizen currently. Nice. Probably like Valheim. I did play Valheim. I preferred, not that they're in really the same category, New World to Valheim, because I used to play a lot of WoW. And New World was a cool balance between, MMORPG, WoW, and hack and slash. I loved the PvE, the way the combat system worked in New World. I don't know why it died as fast as it did. What class you roll on WoW? I loved Hunter. Damage dealer. But I never, even played that. I never leveled a tune past 60. I never got into it that much. Rocket League. I used to know a guy that competed in Rocket League back in my PUBG competition days. Giving DayZ any more thought? Nah, not really. 2042. We did play 2042 when it first released. Warlock for the AoE. Yeah. I always liked running a like a pally or something too. There's just, even back in my when I was posing as a Warhammer guy, I always loved the idea of the librarian, right? The nerdy badass, connected to some other dimension from a power perspective, able to bring the heavens down on his enemies. So Paladin was like, I loved the idea of that. I just, like I said, I never really focused in on it very much. Are you a football fan? Soccer? Yeah. So let me tell you a little bit about my favorite soccer team. They're a bunch of babies, and they complain all the time. They rarely ever score goals, and it's super disorganized. They're also 10 years old, and it's my daughter's soccer team, and I'm absolutely hyped at on the sidelines. They all know that I'm going to be the one cheering them on every game. But my daughter plays tournament soccer, and it is, I didn't really grow up enjoying it. I grew up and I played it. I tried out in 8th grade for the middle school soccer team. I made the team. Oddly, I don't know, natural athlete, definitely. I made the team under the condition that I played backup goalie. That was it. That was the only way I was allowed to be on the team, because I could not handle the ball. But I was quick. I was nimble. And I was a pretty good goalie. I could punt. I wasn't afraid to. I came out of the box quite a bit, though. I kind of just ran people down, which was really dangerous. But that was the only way I was allowed on the team. Michelob Ultra is my beverage of choice. Yeah, Money Pit. I lost like 100 pounds, but I like beer, and I'm trying to just manage drinking my bread. You're a goalkeeper. Should have played rugby then. Yeah. Had rugby been a thing, in my school, I probably would have. I ended up converting or going down the path of contact sports from. I played football since I was like, Civ Dave size. Yes, he's smaller than I am. Anyway, I played football since I was really small, and I eventually converted from football to lacrosse. I did box. I boxed for about 2 years. Yeah. Modelo is my favorite. My favorite beer is a beer called Devil's Backbone Vienna Lager. Devil's Backbone is a local brewery, but I have yet to find a lager that I like. I don't understand the categories of beer very, very well, so don't hold this against me. But I have yet to find a lager, a nice, full. I'm not talking about like a Pilsner or some shit. Not that I know too much of a difference there. I've yet to find a lager, though, that I enjoy as much as Devil's Backbone. It is, Tom. Oh, yeah. Ronnie, we have baby yet? No, not yet. At least another month and a half so that there aren't too many issues. Thanks for the 7 months. Can't get right. Stella? Oh, I love Stella. Yeah, Stella's awesome. Stella's awesome. Spelled too much beer and blood. Can't stand beer. Yeah, I don't mind beer. You watch MMA, UFC when I have a chance to. Rudy has started getting me really into it a little bit though. He's very well trained himself, so I'm actually really starting to start my morning with a Google search here and there on current fights or if there's any. I need to catch back up. The last time I was really engaged with it, Conor McGregor was still fighting. Not necessarily that I'm a Conor McGregor fan, just to give you an understanding of when that was. But I'm starting to get back into it because combat sports is something that I've always enjoyed watching. And boxing for that short period of time gave me a love for traditional boxing. I have a whole nother level of respect for, mixed martial arts, though. Casual fan, yeah. Yeah, I would say that. That 2 inches of hair makes you taller. It's a little long. Yeah, I need to get it cut. But yeah, we'll get it cut eventually. I drink 7 to 9 natural ices every night before bed. But maybe switch to Bush. Have a little bit of Bush before bed. Zuber, best beer from Poland. I would love to try Polish beer. I don't know. I'm like a foodie. So here's the thing: when I travel, I have to I don't like doing the tourist thing when I travel. Like my wife and I go through this all the time. When we go somewhere, I'm like, yeah, I know that's what the thing you're supposed to do when you go there is, but I want to know where the locals go to eat. And if I ever get a chance to travel to Europe, I've never been to Europe outside of flying to and from Afghanistan. If I get a chance to travel to Europe, I'm going to have such a fucking hard time figuring out what to eat because I don't want to try the shit that Americans go there to eat. I want to try the stuff that people there eat, right? When you go, hey, let's treat ourselves to a nice dinner out, that's where I want to go eat. CivDiv just messaged me. Hell yeah, dude. Hey, give me 1 second. I need to actually ask him something. He's 6 foot. Man, we should be so blessed to have Bush before. Oh man. So give me who watched the Funker stream? Let me know. And by the way, please also let me know in the chat where you guys are chiming in from over here, because now that the communities are starting to nest even further, it's still just so cool how far and wide reaching the two are. Have you ever seen football supporter culture in Europe? Yes and no. My wife is a huge football fan. Soccer. It's called soccer. Don't care what you say. She's a huge soccer fan. Like, grew up loving it, loves watching it. I think it's like watching paint dry, personally, because they spread the field. And I'm like, it's just send it, dude. Run. Anyway, I mean, I'm kind of getting into it again as my daughter gets further down the path. She made the U13 team at 10 years old. So she's actually very good for her age. And I'm starting to get more and more into it. And I suspect that over time, I'll get more and more into, the professional levels as well. Boston, we're all over 6 feet here. That's terrifying. I've seen that movie. I saw 2 Ronnies on the stream. Was Josh won't stop with it either. I was like, hey, Josh, here are the questions that I want to ask Corey, that I want to ask CivDiv. And Josh was like, ask him why you guys look the same. And I was like, we don't look the same. And then I looked at like a square ass picture of him, and I was like, shit, that's the same guy. I think I've got like 100 pounds on him or something though, at a minimum. Virginia, watch the whole thing. Nice. Where you at in Virginia, dude? Don't get too specific. Missed it. Was stuck at the end of my driveway. The 5 inches of snow? Does that say 5 inches of snow? Drive over it. Or does that say 5 foot? Foot is a single apostrophe, right? But he is shorter. Correct. And I would like that noted for record that I am not the shortest person on the internet. Was a great stream? Good. Yeah, so, and the reason I ask is I'm a feedback-oriented guy. Positive, negative, doesn't matter. How could it have been better? Right? How can I adjust that type of a stream to be better? It's different than doing like a podcast interview where I can edit it and, like manage the messaging a little bit. Doing it live is a whole different ball game. There are entire fucking jobs around producing stuff like that. Sorry. CivDiv sent me a message. So I'm connecting CivDiv with Hardhead Veterans. For those that don't know, Josh is actually an employee of Hardhead Veterans. HHV offered to, help him out with some gear. And I was like, hey, man, you want a helmet or no? And here's what he said. I would suck a chode for that. Stand by. So now what I need to do is I need to set up a quick message chat between him and Josh. Have your mods kick those trolls out in the Funker channel. That's a careful balance, right? So when it resorts to personal attacks, when it's a personal attack, absolutely, 100%, right? When it is a difference in ideology, the guidance that I've given them, which is careful, it's difficult to find a balance. The guidance that they have is patience, because what we don't want to do is ban people for a difference of opinion. But if somebody's being nasty, attacking a person rather than an idea, you're gone. I don't care. I don't give a shit. Right? Like you had a bad day. I don't care. Don't be a dickhead on the internet, and you'll be able to survive just fine. But if you're presenting a differing opinion, even if it's a stupid ass opinion, it's just an opinion. Right? It shouldn't get you banned from the chat. Where the careful balance is when your opinion is ultimately an enabler for, harm of people. You know what I mean? So we and that's where the careful balance is, because even folks that are generally supportive of Ukraine run into that problem. Like, it's still a human being that you're watching getting blown up here, right? So where do you find that balance? And people would say, well, they're Russians. They've earned it. Well, where's the line? It's not that easy. You can't kick them out. No, you can't. You can't. And there are absolutely, stupid questions and stupid opinions and stupid people. Stand by. Let me do an introduction between Josh and Corey really quick. I'm going to give you guys something great to watch. You're going to love it. All right, introduction between CivDiv and Hardhead Veterans Made. I'm a big fan of theirs. Big fan of theirs. You guys like that? I'm a big fan of bathing with your bros. Hey, we're just enjoying a hot tub together and watching videos on an app. Okay. Are they the same mods? Mods here seem more reasonable than on Funker. One of them, I think so. They are all members of both communities, though. Yeah. Did Oxide get to test them to end that Twitter back and forth? I don't care. Because I am privy to some information that they were tested in an official lab alongside some competitor products rather than... I've tested armor in my backyard, not saying that you can't validate tests that way, but because the conversation is about millimeters, I am standing by for the results of the lab test. I just happen to be privy to that. I didn't say anything. Beep. Beep, 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 beep. Yeah, not to detract from Oxide's content. I hear it's great, but I just... there's a lot of bias there, and there has. We gaming tonight, Ronnie? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I'm doing. I'm just here hanging out with you guys. If you're real hardcore, you'll hang. And nobody said I was hardcore. I would be happy to hang out in the tub with my dogs, but they won't get into it. Love HHV comfy lid. I love it. Yeah, I love it. Right, and there's so many. There's already a pre-existing bias of their helmets, right? Here's my thought process on that. The pre-existing bias is people lump them into the same category from a manufacturing perspective with OpsCore, with Team Wendy. OpsCore and Team Wendy are billion-dollar companies. Hardhead Veterans is comprised of 14 employees. They've got 14 people that work there, okay? Imagine holding a standard against them when they're trying to put a product out at a better price point. The same standard that you're holding to a billion-dollar company. That doesn't make sense. On top of all that, with 14 employees, they are opening up a plant in the United States. It's extremely expensive to manufacture things in the United States. We are spendy. We are spendy people. They're opening up a plant to manufacture shit in the United States and launch a product to compete with two, on the low end, billion-dollar companies. And I can tell you, with a product that meets or exceeds in a lab-tested environment the capabilities of their competitors. Just wait. Oh, thanks, Drunk Dr. Nick. I recently watched your one chip challenge. Oh, that's so long ago, man. Oh, man, that tore me apart, dude. Okay, I'm Suede. Yeah, if you guys use, the code FitLocker, our community name, the FitLocker, so FitLocker, you get money off of it. I've got one right there. It's amazing. It's fantastic. They've tested their microlattice pads. The microlattice pads have proven to be less back face deformation, to be more comfortable, cooler on your head. Like, they're innovating a space that is becoming stale. The Cyodine or whatever the fuck pads that people are like defending, that's like 70s, 80s technology, right? Anyway, what are your thoughts on crypto? I have crypto. I used to be more into it than I am now. I kind of set up some auto buy for like $1 a day kind of deal. Maybe it goes somewhere, maybe it doesn't. At worst, I have a extra spot that I'm stashing money away that does this. I don't know. Great Funker Stream, dude. Just one suggestion. Make a scene in OBS to have a mini guest cam over full screen video. That will be coming. So one of the challenges I'm running into right now is finding a way to share. I have plenty of scenes in OBS. I've been, streaming and, creating my own overlays, for example, like this one, the animations and things since 2018. One of the challenges I'm running into right now is doing all of that on a single PC setup, whilst not just sharing video with you, but trying to share video with CivDiv as well. That was something we had worked out on ahead of the stream, but hadn't gotten there completely by the time it was time to go. Does that make sense? I find it mad they have a launcher just sitting to your right. Oh, it's just casual. It's my casual AT4. You guys don't have a casual AT4? Yeah. That's what that is. Just hanging out there. That's fine. I always got that thing on me. You should do a weekly bloopers reel from militaries across the world, like a top 10. It would all just be fucking Russian stuff at this point, because that's like the overwhelming information space. From a combat footage perspective, that's all that's out there right now. We're still getting bits and pieces here and there. And one of the ones I was going to cover tonight was there's a really wild ambush cartel tried to do on the Mexican army in Nuevo Laredo, which, if you're not familiar with where Nuevo Laredo is, there's Laredo, Texas, and then across the Rio Grande is Nuevo Laredo. So this is like you throw a rock and hit this place from the United States. A Mexican army truck gets ambushed, and they turn the saw, or I think it was a saw. I'm basing that off the grip. They turn the saw around and engage this white truck like 5 feet away. It's a nutty video. Nutty video. Iraqi mortar tube. I know which one you're talking about. Weird. One of those rounds just blew up. What model guitar is that? That's a Taylor 114 CE. Have you seen the video of the Canadian paratrooper drinking beer? Yeah, I did. Funker's Canadian. Most of you guys know that. And he had a good laugh about it. Yeah, that's all on the news here in Texas. I would never know. I would never know. Right? That's kind of, outside of wars, that's the mission of Funker, is to try to help people see that kind of shit's happening. Some Russians trying to evac a soldier, a tank round comes and hits them. Dudes were vaporized. You seen that video? Yep, sure did. We have that one on the website. Yeah. Close to you? Is it retired? It's not a casual AT4, it's a gourmet Pringles tube. Yeah, that's what I meant. I'm in the UK. My country hates us being able to arm ourselves. Mine too. Yeah. Generally speaking, the way the situation's panning out. What's the dumbest question you've heard tonight? The dumbest question I've heard tonight? There weren't too many stupid questions, at least when we opened up the Q&A. The one thing that I didn't like about tonight is under most circumstances, I'm able to stay more engaged with the comments section. And I wasn't able to do that. I was enjoying the conversation with him. I had legitimate questions for him. There's a curiosity. I just wanted to know. I'm so curious about so many things. And, you know, we were trying to like figure out what we wanted to talk about. You know, there's plenty to talk about. And I was like, look, here's like 10 questions. I'm willing to bet that my brain is going to take me in a totally different direction half the time. But I was so just generally engaged in listening. And another improvement will end up being getting a monitor for any guests that I can put behind the camera. That way I don't have to stare down at my screen the whole time. But it's all a work in progress. It's not going to be as well refined as what you guys might be used to on podcasts and stuff like that, because it's live. You have to remember that when people are doing podcasts and things, they are final editing that after the fact, right? So that little box of the guest in the bottom that's talking over it, I have that for the host. I just didn't put it up there for CivDev, right? I was more focused on making sure you guys could see him in the main ones. But doing that live and being able to manage that production live, that's all happening from the desk behind me. You know, there's nobody else. It's got to take time. And I don't ever want it to feel or be a well-refined news show. I'm not a news anchor. I don't want to be a news anchor. I just have no desire to do that whatsoever. I would much rather it be a chance for us to kick back, maybe have a drink, have a bourbon. I was going through too much of my damn bourbon at one time, so I stopped doing it. I have coffee now. But have a drink, kick back, and talk to really cool people about complex issues that I don't know enough about, right? I've been covering Ukraine since February 24th. I've been talking about it since February 24th. I don't know enough about it. I don't know enough about the situation. I'm not there, right? So talking to people that were there is dope. That's awesome. And that's great insight. I'll talk to War Gonzo. Let's get his ass on here. Let's do it. I don't care. Remotely. We'll do that remotely. If we've got one of the FSB folks, hey, reach out to your boy War Gonzo, have him make contact, and we'll bring his ass on. I don't care. Ronnie Burgundy. I'm Ron Burgundy. So I've been doing voiceover for the TV show, and I'm finding out how much I am Ron Burgundy because there'll be a comma, and they don't want it read, but my brain can't not read it. So I'll pause, and they're like, "Why'd you pause there? We told you to ignore the comma." I'm like, "I can't not read that." You know, go fuck yourself, San Diego. Who's War Gonzo? Basically freelance guy that I don't know if freelance is the best term for it, but pushes out a lot of Russian propaganda stuff. Get Willie fighting cancer. We've talked to Willie, 3 or 4 times. Yeah, I know Willie. I have a direct line to Willie. I can message Willie right now. Say, hey, you want to come on the stream? Yeah. Willie's awesome. I love him. I'd happily talk to Yuri. The challenge with talking to people that are actually in theater, though, that I ran into at one time was them being there. And the questions that I'm going to have are like, hey, are people stealing your shit, right? Or, are you having problems with, the Ukrainian government? These are things that I'm encountering out in the wild that I'm curious to know. And what I would hate to do is have people on the stream that are actually trying to perform operations in theater in country right now. And even in a question that would not theoretically put them in danger, ultimately lead to something targetable. You know what I mean? But Yuri's awesome. I would love to talk to Yuri. Can you cook and talk? Yeah. Yeah, I've done a cooking show before. I did. I did it one of my streams on Twitch. I cooked a steak and some broccoli and some potatoes and talked to my phone and a couple of my friends that were watching. That would have been back in like 2020, 2019, maybe. Recovering in Kyiv after his landmine. Okay. Can you interview Xi Jinping? I'd love to. Yeah, I don't know anything about, like, I don't know enough about China. I don't know enough about the China-Taiwan situation. I do know that the video of the Chinese and the Indians fighting each other with sticks and shit was, to a certain extent, comical, but to another extent, confusing to me. Like, they were fighting over a very small piece of ground, if I understand it correctly. And they just decided, they were like, hey, let's pull out the bats, yo. And we'll go at it. And so far, India is 1 and China is 0. And I did see about the nuclear stuff. I don't know enough about it. I haven't yet looked into it. I haven't really had the time to. Yeah, exclamation point OnlyFans. I'm letting Josh know SibDiv is shorter than I am. That Russian commander was on something. Ronnie's sitting on OnlyFans. Ronnie, pull up the Fusion Lady speaking clip and about BFD. What? I don't know. Do you watch the MRE reviews? No, I've done MRE reviews, like reviews of MREs. No, fuck no. I've eaten them. I don't want that. I'm not eating it anyway. Well, this one tastes good. This has got. Now pass. Sorry. I was confused about that stick fight too. It's weird, man. Excellent podcast about Xi Jinping on Telegraph. What's your favorite song to play on the guitar? Used to be Stare at the Sun by Thrice. Ronnie, I follow your OnlyFans 10 out of 10. Nice. Very nice. Yeah, exclamation point on OnlyFans. Get on over there, guys. Chef Boyardee review? Dude, there's only a couple MREs that I would eat anymore. We still get issued MREs quite a bit, and I don't eat it. If I know that I'm going to be issued an MRE tomorrow, I'm going to the store tonight, and I'm picking up them little tuna packages and some beef jerky, and I'm going to gobble up 9 of those tuna packages and the whole bag of beef jerky before I eat an MRE. Now, if I'm deployed and I have to eat the shit, then I'm going to eat the shit, right? I will. It's fine. Oh, so he eats like not just American MRE. I thought it was just like some thing that, you know, showed the different flavors of American MRE. Yeah, I'd be way into that. So apparently Ukraine will get a Patriot battery in the near future. Tracking that. Yeah. Yeah, good. Good. They should. It's a defensive postured system. The only reason Russia would be pissed off about that is so that they can't target population centers. People are like, this is an escalation. I'm like, how the fuck is that an escalation, you dweebs? Like, what makes you think that that is an escalation of things? We're giving them a defensive... It's saving lives of people. Huh? It doesn't make any sense. That's stupid. We're just poking the bear with this one. Yeah. If by poking the bear you mean we're removing their capability to target at least one city. At least one city. You know, and we're not even removing it. Patriots fail. Like, it happens. It's documented. They're pretty amazing, and they're probably one of the best anti-air systems like across the globe. But they also fail. So it's not like it's going to be some blanket of fucking, you know, AAA capability. I'm sorry. There's just so many bad takes, man. You know, I can understand a portion of the argument that's like, we have our own problems to deal with, but can we not try and deal with our own problems and also provide like this technology that's just not doing anything at the moment? What are we going to use it for? We have a ton of them. There's an entire defense industry designed around creating and selling as many of these things to the United States military as possible. We have a lot of them. Like, there's a lot of all of this stuff. We have plenty to deal with whatever threats we're going to deal with over the course of the next couple years. We've got it. It's available. So if it's just sitting on a fucking shelf, I don't care if your taxpayer dollars, mine did too. I don't care if your taxpayer dollars paid for it. What's it doing over there? Nothing. Where it starts to become an actual issue is what Corey talked about tonight, right? It's those NLAWs, the javelins that go missing. You know what I mean? That pisses me off. Ukraine needs to figure that shit out. I'm not giving that shit, handing that shit over for it to just go missing. Right? It needs to pop turrets. Sorry. I'm sorry. Nope. My bad. Adam, I got your message, buddy. I can't update my socials. It's until the guy that designed the original overlay is able to basically edit that. That's just what it's going to be. Where can I buy good but cheaper NVGs? Nods are one of those things that I'm still struggling to wrap my head around because, you know, I wasn't in a... I only got attached to Cool Guy units. I wasn't a part of them, so I didn't get issued nods until... I mean, I got issued a pair like my first deployment, but we wore them once. Like, I didn't get issued good nods. They were fucking sevens. Single Cyclops dick sticking out of the front. But the one thing I have learned is that you get what you pay for with nods. Well, 100%, because there's only like 2 or 3 companies that make good tubes. There's not a lot of them. It's like L3, and then there's another company. And if you skimp on nods, then you're kind of boned. And that's where I've run into a problem because I want a pair. I'm in the market for a pair of nods. And where I would probably purchase them right now would be ATN. And that's only because we have a relationship with ATN, and I can. There's a Funker discount code. Quite honestly, that's 5% off, and 5% of like $13,000 is a lot of money. Outside of that, I have no idea. I know a lot of people like the night vision company, but I'm in the market for nods. I window shop nods probably once or twice a week. Now, if I wanted to hunt hogs or something, I've got an ATN X-Sight 4K. It's got night vision capability built into it. I would probably just use that. Will has the X-Sight, or no, not X-Sight, Thor 4. Josh has a Thor from ATN that that they did reviews on. And the X-Sight 4K, there's a review coming up from me on that one. I play Tarkov, so I'm an expert on NVGs and not. Under most circumstances, no, Alex Campbell. There are companies out there that are doing things like that. Like if you buy certain monocles, they'll have a night vision capability and a thermal capability. But by and large, when you buy a pair of PS31s, for instance, it's just night vision capability. Where things start to get interesting is those hybrid NVGs that the Army's starting to field. You know, the ones with the cool outline with both thermal and night vision. It's like all in one. Those are dope. Like, Like, whose ass do I have to slap to get to try those out? Because I'm ready to slap. You know, we're primed. And it's a stiff slap, I'm telling you. I can't see anyway, let alone in nods. When I was at the sawmill, I got to try some white tubes for the first time. They were some 31s that the sawmill guys let me play with. Those were awesome. Those were awesome. I was like, hey, how much you want for these? And they were like 15 grand. And I said, okay, good night. Thanks for letting me play with your nods. Yeah, he does, Zach. Yep. Excuse me. You can slap mine. I'll let you look into my... Oh, not reading the rest of that. Just imagine when the new guy breaks the damn thing. Somebody shared on Twitter that they broke their GPNVGs falling off a ladder. I don't remember who it was. But they shared a picture of them broken. And I was like, wow, man. If I fall off a ladder, I'm probably turning around so I crack my back before I lose a $40,000 set of nods. I'm making a joke, you know. I'm happy to hear that he's okay, but they were toast. If I give you $15K, do you spend it on a car or midnight sandwich maker eyes? Midnight sandwich maker eyes, 100%, 100%. If that ends up, if somehow somebody was like, here is 15,000 doll hairs, and it's just like extra that I don't need to pay bills with, or get something for the kids or something like that, I'm buying a pair of nods. I'm buying a pair of PS31s, and I'm gonna go stand outside in my short shorts with my combat belt on and my helmet and my rifle, and I'm gonna walk around my fucking property. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm just giving you a heads up. That's what it's gonna be. Don't care. If you eat enough carrots, you won't need nods. Isn't that bullshit? Actually, I remember reading somewhere that like the benefit that you get from carrots on your eyes was like a marketing campaign strategy that was extremely effective. Kind of like breakfast being the most important meal of the day. It's totally not. Your first meal of the day, whenever you have it, technically is, but you don't need to eat breakfast. Like, it's not a thing. It's not that important that you eat breakfast. In fact, the entire culture's intermittently fast, whatever. No, it's not. Grandma told me that. Granny, don't lie. trying to explain to my mom that like she grew up in like the marketing golden age. It's just doesn't work. My grandma's even worse. You know, she's like, well, I heard. Oh, you know, we've always known that. You know, whatever it is. I'm just like, no, it's bullshit. Like that. You know. What's one of them? It's mostly the breakfast one. She's like, well, you should eat breakfast. It's brain food. Like, I lost like 100 pounds intermittent fasting. I'll stick with what I'm doing. Has Ukraine been given the use of Stinger from the Javelin launcher? I don't think you can launch a Stinger from a Javelin. But they have Stingers and they have Javelins. Oh, the cigarette filters. Yeah. They protect you from the smoke, make it safe. Mm. Some body types need to intermittently fast. Yeah. Like when I eat breakfast, I feel like shit. And I gain weight. I do. I don't. I'm also starting to get sick. So we probably won't be live for very long tonight, and I'm sorry for it. But I've got another recording session in the morning, and I want to make sure I get enough sleep tonight. Carrot Gang. Early Roman Empire thought lunch was the most important part. You know, one of the most interesting things I ever learned about the Romans is how much of a bunch of trolls they were. And I actually think I talked about this on the Funker stream. My brain had flushed it for a long time, but I ended up across an article. You know, when I was going through the IO training, they taught us about, you know, information warfare across kind of the ages. Yeah, and Roman Empire being one of a republic. I don't remember when exactly it was. Those are two very different things. One of the things that they would do is they would take their slingers bullets, right? So I think David the slinger, right? They would take their slingers bullets and they would inscribe things on them, like vulgar shit. Like they were vulgar people, like dicks. They'd throw it over the wall. So that way, whoever it is they were attacking would have this like hail of sling bullets falling on them, and they pick it up, and it's like a dick on it. That's hilarious to me. That's akin to like today's leaflets with ISIS in dresses. Not that I know anybody that's done that. Put ISIS in dresses and dropped it on their house in their village. But the care thing was propaganda from World War II. Famous Brit got a bunch of kills, so they spun the guy. That makes sense. Biggest dickus. I think I can tell you guys that story. I don't know if I've told you. Have I told you guys the ISIS in dresses leaflet story? That's like one of my favorite leaflets. I still have the leaflet. I don't know if I'm allowed to show you the leaflet, but I still have it. I looked at it last night. Not last night. Sunday night. I've got a small section of the house where I just keep all of my like old military stuff. You never heard it? Okay. So one of my jobs, and I shared a portion of this on Monday night. Monday night's, I guess, chatting stream, because that's what this has turned into. One of my jobs as an information operations planner was to take over for our team leader. He got sent home on suicide watch. We actually had to take his gun and shit. Don't ask me. Anyway, when I had to take over for him, I had to support the planning to combat ISIS in Nangarhar. So at the time, that would have been ISK, or Islamic State, in the Khorasan province. Nangarhar in the northeast of Afghanistan. Well, one of the things that ISIS was doing to hide is they would wear dresses to hide amongst the population. So what we were trying to get done, and this is the part that I talked about on Monday, one of the most successful information operations plans we ever had was to enable the tip hotline. So what I did, along with the other planner, all right, so there's multiple planners, is we put ISIS in dresses on a leaflet and said, these cowards hide in your women's clothes amongst you, and you let them do that. What kind of men, essentially, would allow these foreigners to live in women's clothing and ruin your lives? And we just dropped it over the entirety of fucking Nangarhar, and the tip line went wild. And it was so these are like 4 prominent ISIS commanders, and we photoshopped their face onto these like traditional Afghan clothes. The leaflet's sitting downstairs. I don't know. Technically, since it's dropped, it's already out there. I don't know if I could. I don't know. It's a gray area. It's a gray area. I don't know. Sniffs and Funker. Where's the banana mug? The banana mug I still use. It's downstairs, like with the rest of the mugs. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm still in the military. I have to be careful. No, Army. Have you seen hundreds of dudes poop, or is that just a grunt thing? No. I've seen plenty of dudes poop. I don't care. I've sat across from a man and passed toilet paper back and forth with it. I don't care. Doesn't bother me at all. I think it would be fine You know, again, because once you kick it out of the back of the chopper, it's out there, right? I'll think about it. Maybe one day. I wouldn't post it. Well, technically, it would be posted if I showed you guys here, but. So have you ever seen one stand? No. And this is what I'm saying. There's so many people that were like, yeah, of course I stand. What do you mean? You don't stand? And I'm like, dude, what are you fucking talking about? This is like a thing that has concerned me over the last 2 weeks, is I learned that it's more common than you think. Proud stander, more of a hunch. Yeah, lean. But I would categorize leaner as a sitter. No one sits. Percentage wiped is much higher. When you're in the stall and someone chooses to stall next to you and stares you in the eyes, do you lock eyes or turn away? You don't back down from that fight. You lean to the side for proper cheek spread. See, that's what I'm saying. And if you stand, they come together. Okay? So, listen, we've spent entirely too much time on this channel and now on the Funker channel. It has spread to the Funker channel. And I somehow I couldn't avoid asking the question because there was like 9 of them in the Q&A section. Ma, I don't know. This is what they want to. They asked the thing. I don't know. It's one of those life questions, you know, that'll never truly be answered, but you got to continue to talk about it. It really seems to animate chat though. Hey, yeah, the more comments, the better. Not only is that are comments helpful to the stream, but they also, you know, it's easier to talk. You know, if all of you sat there with your dicks in your hands, then there'd be nothing to talk about, right? I don't have an infinite amount of things to say. People are saying are also the kind of people who drink orange juice after they brush it. Oh, yuck. But yes, I agree. Marine. The world has a right to know, does Civ Div fold or ball? These are the true questions. Archetype 1. Sneak a few of your wall hacks photos in the boxes. Somebody, hold on. I want to show you guys something. Somebody sent me. So Instagram DMs are really, really difficult to keep up with. In fact, the amount of DMs is really growing, and I'm so sorry. It's just so hard to keep up with it all. But somebody sent me some funny shit. Hold on. I got to show it to you. I found it last night, and I was gonna post it. I was like, but how do I post this? I don't know. I don't know like what to say about it. What? General? Where would it be? Why isn't it in here, but it was in the other? How come it's available on my phone, but not on, like, desktop? That doesn't make sense. All right. Where's my phone? Hold on. I got to show it to you. All right. I don't even know why I have my headphones in. I'm not listening to anything. Requests? Yeah, it's right there. What the fuck? I gotta save the photo, and then I gotta put it in Discord, and then I'll pull it up from Discord. Stand by. Matter of fact, I'm gonna slap it in all chat. That way, if you guys end up going back to it or wanting to see it. I thought about sending this to Tom Cruise. Somebody did that. Yeah, I'm happy to shout out who sent it if they're in the chat. Hold on, it was Tyson Miller. But that's not even the only one. He sent me 3 of them. I just don't know what to do with it. Save that one, and then this one I can't really tell. I can't tell who that is on my phone. Hold on. I'll show you guys the other ones too. They're all in all chat now. Oh, it's Bruce Willis. And then Angelina Jolie. Yeah. Anyway. I happened to like notice that I had unread messages, and I didn't get through all of them. There's a lot of them. But I happened to open that one and was like, what the fuck is that? I'm not posting them in the mean Discord. Then somebody's going to think that I made them. Maybe I did. I did not. I'm not creative enough to think to do that. I didn't know like you could do that. Like that's amazing work. What's everyone's favorite steak? Me, it's filet. I'm a ribeye guy, 100%. The missus likes fillets, but I don't think they taste like they don't taste like anything. It's just mushy. I like ribeyes. See, the fat's where all the flavor is. Mm-hmm. Yeah, ribeye. Uh-huh. Ribeye. Yeah. Mm-hmm. If I don't have a ribeye, I'll take a strip. Good marbling in a strip. T-bone? It's kind of a waste of weight, right? You go to a restaurant and you order a T-bone, you're just getting a strip and a fillet. And the weight that you're paying for is in the T. You know? People are like, oh, look how big the steak is. By the time you cut the shit off, you could have had a 20-ounce ribeye and 20 ounces of meat. Or a 20-ounce T-bone and 12 ounces of meat. Plus an 8-ounce fucking bone. Need that bone? Get a bone-in ribeye. Shit's awesome. Prime rib is killing you? Oh, no. Ronnie, I've never had steak. What do you mean you've never had steak? Oh, Polak, you need to have yourself a good Texas ribeye. A nice big old thick boy cowboy cut ribeye. All right? Cooked medium rare. Okay? It's science. Listen, it's science. They have proven it. Medium rare is when steak is its most tender and has its most moisture content. Right? It's science. Like, it's proven. Like, people, they have studied that. But once again, you were raised to believe that that's unsafe. Corey and I talked about this shit. The things that you believe are all 100% bullshit. I told you guys, when we start getting into like the talk show kind of shit, I'm going to piss all of you off at some point. But the things that you believe are 100% bullshit. They are. And bullshit being just things that you, from the context of life over time, have come to believe. If you are conditioned growing up that well-done steak is the best way to eat it because anything else is not, that's just what you're going to be. Medium rare prime rib is to die for. Yep. Mama, food lady, I'm hungry. You ruin it. Yeah, by overcooking the shit. Tube meats. Honestly, that's the thing. You cannot name a meat in tube form that isn't delicious. You can't do it. It's not possible. It doesn't matter which one you name. It's going to be delicious. Summer sausage, kielbasa, hot dogs, I don't know, fucking salami. When aren't you hungry? After I eat, sometimes. Never had a steak as harsh. That's tough, man. That's my favorite. That would be one of my favorite foods. Bologna, wonderful. Love it. Have you seen the new Kraken video? I believe so. Yeah. Today was less footage review than it was trying to prep for having Civdiv on. I'm amazed by American barbecue. You want to talk barbecue? Like, that's a hobby of mine. Here's the thing. Too many people that aren't in America call slapping some burgers over a fire barbecue. It's not barbecue. Don't care. It's not barbecue. It's not. Barbecue is meat cooked slow to reduce the connective tissues and essentially render down all of those fats into the meat so that it is so tender that it just falls off the bone. Now, if you're in the barbecue circuit, right, your ribs shouldn't fall off the bone. There should be a clean bite. I like my ribs. I like pull-out ribs. Like, I invested money in a smoker and everything. Like, I've like over time have now moved to a pellet smoker. I just don't have time to tend fire. And I can make some ribs. And the missus is learning to make some really good ribs too, using my recipe, by the way. That's barbecue. Okay. Also, vinegar-based pulled pork is not as good as tomato-based sauces on pulled pork. What game is this? This is called Ronnie's Hungry, and we're talking about barbecue. It's a really good game. It's on sale right now. Free $99. Only available here, though. You're not that guy. Don't start with me. Baby Ray's. I'm not a huge fan of Sweet Baby Ray's. I'm not. I like Sticky Fingers. Sticky Fingers is awesome. They have a. I like their bourbon barbecue sauce, and I like their Memphis barbecue sauce. Sous vide steak, don't have any problem with it. I love it. Yeah. Yep. Have you ever tried meat cooked in beer? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I've braised things in beer. It's awesome. Dry rubs are superior to sauces to a certain extent. Yeah, it depends on what you're eating it on, though. I prefer dry rub chicken that's been brined, If you're not brining and then drying this and then drying out the chicken so that the skin can crisp, especially if you're smoking it, chicken skin has a tendency to get rubbery under the typical low temperatures that you would use. So first of all, you need to crank the heat a little bit to 325 or higher when you smoke chicken. In my mind, there's a lot of folks that do it low and then burn it hot to crisp up the skin. But if you brine your chicken and you don't let it sit open air in the fridge or something to allow that moisture to leave the skin, you're going to end up with rubbery skin. Beer in the butt chicken? No, I prefer to spatchcock chicken. Yeah. The beer can chicken, leaving poultry whole in that way will cause it to overcook in certain areas, the breast, for example. And I also don't stuff my turkey. I spatchcock the turkey by cutting out the spine bone, splitting the breastbone and laying it flat. And the reason you should never stuff a turkey, if you want to make turkey, get the turkey flavoring in the stuffing, take drippings from the turkey and put it in the stuffing elsewhere. The reason you don't want to do that is you have to cook the stuffing to 160 degrees as well for it to be safe to eat. By the time you get the stuffing to 160 degrees, your breast meat is 170, 180 degrees. Right, I don't know if I can start this discussion. Sure you can. I don't give a shit what. What do you think about the fact you have to be 21 to drink but 18 to join the army? I don't care. It's just one of those issues that I don't have time to really care all that much about. I dealt with it. Plenty of soldiers in the U.S. military right now are 19 years old, hammered drunk. If that's what they want to do, they're going to do it anyway. If you get in trouble for it, you get in trouble for it. It's the rules. I just don't care enough. If you're in the U.S. military and you go somewhere where the legal drinking age is 16, 17, 18 years old, whatever it may be, your leadership will turn the other cheek. At least that was the experience that I had. Do I think that the legal drinking age should be lowered? No, I don't. Not at all. As much as I like to kick back with a beer or two, I think, alcohol causes enough problems. I am a result of that. I had to quit drinking for, almost 3 years. For the first, 2 or 3 years, my wife and I were married. We didn't have a drop. I had to learn what moderation meant. You know what I mean? I like very dry chicken. I don't have anything to rinse that out. What do you mean you like very dry chicken? Oh, yuck. Hey, thanks for all the subs, guys. Phantom, Ibrahim, Eric, Son of Pam, Ego, Steven, Stray Cat, Terry, Bill, Rip, and 2 Unreal. Thanks for the subs, guys. Now I want banchan. Dude, so one barbecue that I still don't consider barbecue that I love is Korean barbecue. The missus hates Korean barbecue. I love it. Because I can just continuously order meat. I'm a big fan of meat-based vegetable substitutes, by the way. I can just continuously order meat and put it on the fire and eat that shit until I regret that decision, which oftentimes happens way sooner than I want it to. Where do you stand on soups and stews? I'm a food guy, man. There's a reason I had to lose weight. I love food. I love trying new foods. I have had food almost kill me before. Because I was so eager to try it and ate too much of it. I couldn't hold food or water in Afghanistan, my first deployment, for a week and a half because I had kebab on the side of the road after pulling security for some school. They were like, "We want to buy you our favorite kebab," and I was like, "Fuck yeah, let's do that." And I ate mine and my buddies, and I couldn't eat or drink water. Like they had to run and like it was bad. Have you tried venison? Oh yeah, I grew up eating venison. Yeah, I grew up hunting. You know, never took a deer. I always got taken on deer hunts. You know, my uncles always and granddad always took the deer. But I've, you know, helped process it before. You know, I love it. I think it's good. You need a Ronnie Foodie channel. Yeah, that'd be dope. Getting to go places to just eat food. Oh man, that'd be awesome. Dried chicken goes good together with Frank's Red Hot. But what does Frank's Red Hot add to it? Moisture. Okay, moist is a nasty word. I'm growing out of that, but still adds liquid to it, so it's no longer dry. Tag along 420. I'm an alcoholic. If you're being serious, good on you for recognizing it. Good on you. Texas Pete is the alpha of hot sauces. Nah, I disagree. The Chipotle flavored Tabasco, it owns all. Yeah, I'll put that shit on anything. I live in the UK and drinking laws are very strange here. You can legally drink a little at home when you're 5 years old and drink at a pub when 16, but you need to be with a parent and have to get food. So cultures going all the way back in history have used wine in small quantities for children, right? That's not foreign. And in fact, who's it? Egypt? Like ancient Egypt were the first to brew beer. Like it was a staple. Moderation from an alcohol perspective is a very modern concept. Chipotle Tabasco is very good. Don't like normal one tastes like pennies. I haven't had Sweet Baby Ray's hot sauce. Their barbecue sauce is fine. Like it's not bad. It's not great. They've got like a whole movement around Sweet Baby Ray's or nothing, and it's just like they're really good at marketing. The superior barbecue sauce is absolutely Sticky Fingers, where I'm at. Sticky Fingers is readily available. I am positive that there are better out there than both of them. Sticky Fingers is our go-to. 230. Oh, Sriracha honey. Oh yeah, Sriracha. I had Sriracha today. So Mama meal preps for us at the beginning of the week, and one of my favorite things that she makes is this teriyaki chicken recipe. And she heated it up for me today and spread some Sriracha over top of the teriyaki chicken. Oh, man. I'd eat that right now in front of all of you. You'd have to listen to me. It's so good. Make your own. I've tried. So here's the thing. I've tried making my own barbecue sauce, but it ends up tasting like manwich. Like for Sloppy Joes. There's actually a very fine line between manwich and barbecue sauce, and I didn't know that. I'm an alcoholic as well. Haven't had a drink in 8 years. Congratulations. I've had sole custody of my 9-year-old son for 7.5. No wife or girlfriend. Single dad, mom. That's awesome, Bob. Hell yeah. There are more containers of it if you want it. Probably after the stream, yeah. Alcohol was safe when water was not in past times. Yeah, you're absolutely right. You know, dirty water. What are you gonna drink? Something distilled. You know, with alcohol content. Bathtub stream at my new house. Yeah, man. Yeah, of course. That's what I tried to do tonight. It's just this is a weird bathtub. I actually have my foot in a glass of water. You can't tell. You know, my definition of bathtub is different than yours. Orange juice, molasses, soy sauce, honey, and chicken. I'm into that. We're gonna sell the water on your OnlyFans! Exclamation point on OnlyFans! Please go follow. Please and thank you. Brown sugar on what? I'm from Poland. I know. What a surprise! Weird. I wouldn't have guessed that with the name Polak. But I thought it's bad in Poland. Now I live in the UK. Alcohol is a real problem here. Yep. Yeah, it is. By the extra room in your shorts, we can tell the water is very cold. Nope. It's actually very warm water. Some people are born with it. Nothing I can do about it. Try to find good spaghetti sauce in the stores. It's all full of sugar. It takes spaghetti. We like Rouse. I like Rouse a lot. For a little while, I was adding sugar to take the acidity taste out of it, that coppery taste. And I saw this Instagram reel. There's a couple. One of them's Italian. One of them's female. I guess it is important for you to say that sometimes. But I saw this Instagram reel, and it was this Italian explaining how to get the coppery taste out of your red sauce. Is to put a carrot in it, and I'd be interested to try that. I don't see you in a bathtub like in the intro. Yeah, we showed that. If I don't drink a beer or two a day, I go into withdrawal. I've been drinking since I was 15. I'm 46 now. Well, like I said, tag along, recognizing that there's a dependency there is important, What can I say, Mom? I'm a professional. This is a business that I'm running here, all right? I don't know what to tell you. I make my own. Don't like the taste of store-bought spaghetti sauce. Hey, baby girl. I have no idea what you just said. Oh. Mom looks like she got hit with something. The oldest did Mom's makeup on one side. Back camera's on. They don't like the back camera. Huh? Yeah, you are. You can come over here. She's fine. You want to come over here and say hi? You can if you want to. Okay, or you don't have to. That's fine. I don't. He's saying you can go on the actual camera. Yeah. Come over here, say hi. It's my oldest. She's the soccer star. What a dork. But I guess she did Mom's makeup on one side, and it looks like Mom got hit with something heavy. What? Do you want me? Do you want me to lie to you? Which side did she do? This side. Yeah. No, I'm being serious. Well, she kind of does. One side looks like she got hit by something. It looks swollen. Look at it.
I'm seeing right here. He can see that. No, I'm not doing that.
Jordan, no, she just turned it down. Ronnie doing a makeover stream? We've done that. The girls did my makeup on stream one night.
I did it really bad that time because I didn't have anything.
I thought it was great.
Can we do it again?
Get the Nerf gun? No, that's for Friday only. Yeah, you look like you got stung by a bee in your face. Yeah, that's what it looks like. It looks like you've been stung by a bee. Your makeup? Yeah, we did. Yeah, they did my makeup. That stream is over on Facebook. That was when we were still on Facebook gaming. Keep messing about. She's going to use the Vector next Friday. She loves the Vector, man. She's way into the Vector. What is that? Are you going to put it on? Don't put it on me.
No, I won't.
Don't put... No, get out of my face. It don't smell like nothing. What does it smell like? We'll be right back. Little fucking brat. Beep. What a brat, man. All because I didn't like the bee sting. Mom's face looked like... Oh. You didn't hear nothing. Aren't you supposed to be in bed? Oh, you got another minute. Yeah, I have 2 daughters. 2 princesses. Oh, you got stung? No, my oldest daughter did my wife's makeup on one side, and the first thing... I don't know how I haven't been canceled yet, because I don't have a filter in a lot of ways. The first thing that come out of my mouth was, "You look like you got hit by something." You look like you were hit with something heavy in the face. That's what that looks like. And my daughter was like, ugh. My youngest daughter is almost 2 and just started crying because she turned the stream on. Oof. What's your opinion on rounding up every panda left on Earth and sending them to Ukraine to fight Russians? Could give Ukraine the edge, and pandas would die. Don't let the missus hear you saying that. Megamind. Hi, buddy. Don't let her favorite animal is panda. I think pandas are sissies, and it's a sissy bear. Here, take him. What the panda's doing? Nothing. Just sits around eating bamboo. That's the worst bear ever. I still don't think they should die. Seems like the life. Maybe I'm just jealous. I think I'm just jealous of the pandas. Oh, nice. Yeah, I think I'm just jealous of the pandas. Does it sound too familiar? Panda's a giant lazy raccoon. Trash. The people call them trash pandas. What a beautiful kitty. Megamind is the most beautiful cat I've ever seen. And I would like everybody to know that they all wanted to get rid of him, and I kept him. And now he won't snuggle me at all. So I'll hold him for a second, and then he goes to my daughter. Ronnie, cooked chicken Add a tablespoon of honey, 1 cup pure orange juice. Reduce, then enjoy. That sounds awesome. Have you tried shark meat? I have. Yeah. 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 It's not something I'd, go somewhere to eat, I've had it. Little wanted to keep him. I'm taking credit. I'm going to take credit for that. Plus, he's my cat. Yeah, at this point. I have 50 pounds of fresh beef in my fridge. What do I do with it? Send it to Ronnie. Oh, Josh, you missed it earlier, dude. We were talking about HHV, There are a couple folks that were newly informed on the challenge of being in an industry dominated by $2 billion companies as a small company trying to make big things happen. Blargety works for hardhead veterans. If you guys have questions for him, there's your opportunity. Should have sent the cat to China. Why would I do that? I love my cat. Are we supposed to have bad weather? Kids' school got a 2-hour delay tomorrow. WTF? Yeah, we are. Which is actually going to make things interesting from a recording perspective. I'm supposed to drive up to DC and do more recording for the show. Poland had a combat bear. They did. I remember reading about that. I definitely want to save up for an HHV helmet for mounting NVGs. I'm not going to lie to you. That was one of the primary purposes I bought that. Nobody sent that to me. They did, full disclosure, send me one of their bump helmets. But I bought that with my own money. And Josh sent me the cover, though. He sent me the cover and the mounts. The rack. Rail adapter kit. Are you driving or are they sitting in the car? They won't let me drive. I've asked them. I was like, can I just drive? No. Nope. We have a new rail adapter kit coming out soon. Listen, I'm an absolute simpleton, and that one was complex enough for me to figure out. I'm not changing it. Unless you put it on for me. If you put it on for me, I'll change it. Otherwise, I'm not changing it. My ex was a nurse and took care of one of the guys who had the combat bear. New one's way better than that one, but that one's not awful. It works for me, dude. Hey, ironic. There's the timer for Hardhead Veterans. Click the link. Go buy one. Even though the link doesn't work. Why isn't the link working? What the fuck? Well, that's good that I now see that problem. Does it even work? No. It takes you to a Ryzen 5. On Spanish Amazon. What is this? That's what my Hardhead Veterans link takes you to. Somebody do !HHV. At least that one takes you to the right website. My timer doesn't. And why does this cost $2,211? Is this even Spanish? Amazon.com. Yeah, Mexico. Yeah. Is it your affiliate link, though? I don't know. No. No, it's not. I'm the worst affiliate ever, man. I've got affiliate relationships that I'm really excited about in 3 instances, right? I've got 10,000, right? I'm a big fan of 10,000. I like their gear. I've got State and Liberty, and I've got Hardhead Veterans. Those are my 3 affiliate relationships that I'm super excited about. Now, I also have StinceBuilt, but I consider that more of a partnership, if you will. Oh, geez. Listen, I know that I can make money from doing all this stuff. I just I never said I was good at this. Sure, it's not pesos. Is the sign for pesos the same as dollars? Because that's a dollar sign. Pesos symbol. No, it's way different. That would have said that. Oh, I forgot about jerky too, I guess. Well, let me go back. Oh, again, I've got what? The peso symbol is way different. Those are Philippine pesos. Fuck's a Philippine peso? Mexican peso. Oh, I guess it is the same. Look at that. Right there. I don't know what to tell you. What do you want me to say? What do you want me to say? At least the important one works and we can get Empire. Tag along. Thanks for being here for a little bit. We're going to be closing out soon anyway. If it was 2,000 pesos, you'd be paying like $15 for that Ryzen 5. Oh, it's probably $2,000. For doll hair, the alternative currency in elementary school. The dollar symbol is a pillar with a ribbon across it from the plus ultra symbol from Spain. The more you know, I guess. $200. It actually might be pesos now then. Because that sounds about right for a Ryzen 5. We adopted it from the Spanish Empire. We need to kill the pandas. Dude. No, we don't. Why do we need to kill the pandas? Wait, what the panda... Show me where the panda hurt you. That's the problem here. I just said, when? Pandas have had their time. Actually, when was it panda time? Huh? When did pandas have their time? The hell with pandas? I mean, I don't like pandas either. I think it's a bullshit bear, but I don't think they need to die. I can't. He hurt me in my no square. Now, polar bears are absolute assholes. They are dickheads. Yeah, that's a badass bear. You don't fuck with polar bears, man. Global warming is why we need to kill the pandas? Ronnie, chat. What's up? Father of lies. Send pandas to the North Pole. I still don't understand what the hate on pandas is. Again, I get it. A panda's a bullshit bear. It is. It's not a bear. It's not. It's a sissy. I just still don't think they should die. Perennial, you out of here? Good night. Polar bears are harmless if you have a Coke bottle. My brain had to like put that together. The dude that got ran over by a tank and it was a panda. It's been downhill. What? Do you use lasers for illumination in the army, like those green laser designated? Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Even for, warning, like really high fidelity lasers. So the green lasers you're thinking of would be like, IR illumination, or not illumination, excuse me, IR lasers that are only visible in the infrared spectrum. But one of the things we used as turret gunners was an extremely bright green laser that you basically, as you're driving through Kabul, you'd shine it into people's cars. Shit. And I got no idea what that's doing to their eyes, but that's the first thing. That's a standoff thing. You shine it into the car, and it lights up the whole fucking car. We use that one quite a bit. And I mean, it's bright. When I say it's bright, it's really fucking bright. Like not a laser pointer. This is like you see it from space bright. Hearts and Minds, yeah. Fuck it, man. I don't know. Oh my goodness. So I watched Retrograde. Have you guys seen Retrograde yet? If you want to get mad all over again on the fall of Afghanistan, watch Retrograde. Retrograde is a Nat Geo documentary done by the same dude that did Cartel Land, which was amazing. And it's not experts sitting in front of a camera talking about the fall. It's literally just footage of an Afghan general as his country implodes around him. And it is amazing. And at the very end, I remember being furious once again, all over again. Better than getting shot, I bet. Yeah, I'd say so. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We need to start a petition to tax pandas. It's fucking wrong. Everybody hates pandas, I guess. Mom, nobody likes pandas. Who knew? But yeah, so I mean, if you haven't seen Retrograde, like even if you don't want to watch it because you'll get mad, you should still watch it because the amount of perspective that it provides. The director, the guy that actually did it, like you've seen the top down footage of the crowds at Kabul airport. This dude was standing in the fucking crowd, right, with his cinema cameras. Amazing. Yeah, so Josh, that's the biggest point that it drives home, because you're following this General Semi Sadat. This guy. You're following him. This is from the National Geographic documentary right here, who is absolutely doing his best to organize the defense of Afghanistan. Like, he's calling politicians, he's calling his leadership, he's calling the president, saying, hey, I need equipment, but you're denying my requests. I need gear, I need these soldiers to come, and he is just absolutely overwhelmed with incompetence all around him. And it touches actually very little on the US, which it focused more on, the Afghan side, the Afghan government, Afghan military side of the fall, and less on the American side. but it still left the impression and left you being pissed off at the Americans, because it starts with a team of an ODA team that's embedded with him, and they just get yanked out. They get yanked out. They have to blow up all of their ammo. They have to, decommission all of their equipment. Believe it or not, there's actually a lot of equipment that wasn't handed over. And they just get yanked out, and he's left fucking high and dry. Amazing, amazing documentary. We had 3,000 contractors support guys from the Air Force propping up the Afghan National Air Force. Enabled an Afghan-leaning stalemate for 7 years. I'm not sure exactly what you're talking about, brother, but warrior trying to save his country. He was, dude. And it was such a wild thing to watch. There's a point in it where I don't want to ruin it for you guys. It's really, really good though. Like, the incompetence around him was bad, regardless of how. And what sucks is I was a part of NATO training, NTMA, NATO training mission in Afghanistan, and I trained Afghans, and none of it sank in. I guess in individual instances, Sami Sadat seemed like he was a pretty competent dude, very young, especially in that culture. I will tell you, there's a part of this where he's sitting around the room with other cultural leaders. Well, I don't know what their positions were. You could tell there was Afghan National Police there. There were other ANA dudes. He's the youngest in that room, and he outranked all of them. And you could see, you could cut the tension in the room because of how young he was, literally climbing up these other dudes' asses. And in that culture, that's not really how that would work, and it's like this intersection of America trying to promote competence in some way, which is ironic in and of its own, and the Afghan culture of, why is this young man talking to me like this? Just such a good, oh man, it was so good. It's National Geo, Net Geo. So it says now streaming on Hulu and Disney Plus. Yeah. How has the resistance went so far? So we've been posting footage of it when we find it. You still have not Northern Alliance, but kind of the eventual flow down of those guys out of Panjshir. What are they calling themselves now? Josh? Oh fuck. Why am I drawing a blank on it? National Resistance Front. The NRF, yeah. Yeah, so there's still pockets of that. And Afghan Freedom Front. Afghan Freedom Front was where my brain was going. Now, there was an article when I first, I had never heard of Sami Sadat before. I watched this last night. There was an article from April of this year that BBC did that he is trying to basically get a crew of folks back into Afghanistan to take the country back. What that turns into, I can't be certain. I don't know. Yeah, it's called Retrograde. Yep. Here, we'll watch this little thing on it. It's so fucking good. What's this one do?
General Sadat is a deeply fascinating character. I think one of his greatest strengths is his ability to sort of be a chameleon. He could.
So let me just explain something really quick. At no point in the documentary, and this is the guy that actually made it, do you ever see him or hear him really speak. The entire thing is nothing but just raw footage. It's amazing.
Ability to sort of be a chameleon. He could walk into this film set and figure out how to direct the shoot if he needed to. Walk into a meeting with the highest leaders in Afghanistan and figure out what to do. He's a very personable guy. No human being wants to run into battle. No human being wants to get shot at or potentially die. So he is forced to make really, really difficult decisions. And I think that's one of the things that I really wanted to do with this film is, obviously there's a lot of sort of hair-raising moments. This is not like a bang-bang documentary. This is a film really that most of which takes place in control rooms and in meeting rooms from the perspective of a general who generally is far away from all the quote-unquote action. And so getting into his headspace, getting to understand what it is like to make these decisions, had an enormous weight on his shoulders. And I think he felt that maybe, just maybe, if they defended Helmand and they won, that the country would persevere. And obviously part of the narrative tension of the film is as time goes on, and every neon sign is saying, stop, this is over, you guys are losing. Sammy had that sort of blind faith and blind belief that he could win. And that obviously was, over time, really torturing him. But he never really wavered in his belief that he could win, up until the very end.
Yeah, it's really fucking good. I actually didn't even really intend on watching it. I kicked back and was like, I just need to put something on the TV, and I was scrolling through Disney Plus and I was like, oh, what's this? And I put it on and I couldn't stop watching. Did he make it out? Yeah. Yeah, he did. He eventually made his way into the UK. And it you know, all he says is, I got my family to another country and I went to the UK. Again, guys, just watch it. Like, it's so good. We had absolutely no need to fully pull out of Afghanistan and leaving the Air Force Base first. You know, there was what we effectively did is pulled out a rug from underneath of Afghanistan. And that is apparent when you watch this. It was abrupt. It was like right away. As of January, the ODA team that was on the ground was like, we have no idea what's going to happen. Biden took office and was like, yep, this is how it's going to work. And they took direction and so the direction and guidance came from Biden doing a national television thing, like publicly, not necessarily from like flow down orders, a Warno through. That's not like the ODA team was sitting there waiting for that. That's not. It was a rug that we yanked out, and it power vacuum. It's not like we haven't seen that before. Weird. That's fucking weird, isn't it? 20 years. I get it. As an eventuality, we needed to get out of Afghanistan, but you don't. We ran too much of it. We opened up a wide open power vacuum for the Taliban to then swoop in and start stoning people to death, which their first public execution just happened again. At least for the last 20 years. Yeah, that's awesome. Soldiers can't fight without beans, bullets, bandages, and batteries. Yeah, so I mentioned earlier, I was part of NTMA, and specifically my first deployment. Our function and focus was to train the Afghans on taking over their logistics. Like, that was what we were there for at a national level. We were in Kabul at the joint level teaching them to do that, right? There was a campaign plan, like with milestones of how we were going to accomplish enabling them to take over their logistics. And it ultimately just never came to fruition, which is apparent when you watch the documentary. Wait, where's the tactical hot tub? I was still... Yeah. Yep. And the rug was people falling off C-17 Worldwide TV. Yeah. Desperate people. Right. And many of which were enablers for the United States, right? During our 20 years there. Right. Love from Montana. What's up, man? It's good to see you. What do you think of the chance Putin might give Iran a nuclear weapon? I think that'd be stupid. People talk about escalations all the time. Doing something like that would cause problems, or should cause problems. I'll leave it at that. That would be an issue. Here's the real kicker: 50,000 U.S. troops are stationed in Germany today. Yeah. Hegemony. Wait, they already have them. Yeah, what I'm talking about is the transference of continued nuclear proliferation. That would be an issue. That would be a problem. You don't see us handing over nuclear weapons to people. Unless we are, and I'm just ignorant on the issue. Which, when it comes to nuclear proliferation and those really big strategic level issues and concerns, I'm very ignorant on it. Do you think NATO will be back in Afghanistan in the future? The answer to that would be such a shot in the dark. It would be hard to sell the American public. I'm going to only speak to the USA. It would be hard to sell the American public on returning to Afghanistan right now. The airport in Afghanistan gave us unprecedented military access to impossible to reach places around the world. It took us 3,000 troops, had 0 casualties in 18 months to accomplish it. Yep. We had a fully capable Bagram air base that was extremely secure, as secure as it can be. It literally got suicide vest detonated on it the day I arrived, but that was 2016. By the time we were pulling out of Afghanistan, nothing happened at Bagram. Nothing at all. Here is where things start to get interesting and confusing, though, right? It's not our country, and the Afghan government would have needed to ask us to stay. Josh, if I recall the situation correctly, they did not. Yeah, but that one doesn't surprise me, Swaggins. I mean, Japan's a very close ally. No, they wanted us? Did they really? Why does my brain lead me to believe that they didn't? And forgive me for my brain has been so Ukraine focused over the last. That's another problem that I have is we the team has gotten so enveloped into the war in Ukraine, and to an extent rightfully so, that there are still really volatile areas that from a team perspective we're doing our best to keep a finger on. Taliban defended the troops leaving. It was ISIS that boomed. No. Yeah. Well, yes and no. So ISK, the Islamic State in the Khorasan, boomed around about the same time that they did. So this would have been my second deployment, and I was talking about ISK earlier. ISK was getting their absolute dicks kicked in. Ranger was up and down Nangarhar, where ISK was. The emergence or the emergence of the Islamic State in the Khorasan province was a concern and an issue, and we were, the I mean, there were entire counterterror joint task force aligned against that problem. And in fact, in 2016, that was literally the only thing we were still doing there is counterterror. It was no more hearts and minds by then. So that emergence of ISK was, in my opinion, a little blown out of proportion. Again, that's a low man on the totem pole opinion on that. But, you know, people screaming that, you know, the Islamic State's going to branch out of Nangarhar. Had we stayed and continued to do what it was that we were doing and what we got very good at doing over the course of 20 years, never would have been a problem. Do you have to see other country troops? Oh yeah, absolutely. Both of my missions were joint. So my first deployment, I was technically under, not technically, I was aligned under an Australian general. I remember I was in the bay one time and I was kicked back, and I remember thinking to myself, man, I'm sleepy, and my eyes closed, and suddenly my body shook awake. And in the doorway was the Australian general. And I'm a specialist, right? You know, just one of the drivers. And I'm like asleep in the bay, you know. Oh, man. Anyway, so I worked with all these Aussies the first deployment. The fucking Mongolian dudes were there. They were some wild dudes, man. You know, they're doing like, what's the reverse rappel version? They call that Australian rappelling. When you're facing downward, they were just doing that shit to do it. Like, not because they were training or something. They just go, hey, let's go rappel off that thing. And I'm like, bro, I'm going to chow, dude. I worked with, my second deployment got exposed to more. Ended up, oh man, here's one. Let's go back to the first deployment. So I got back to the barracks area at Eggers. And I remember spitting into the trash can. I didn't want to spit on the floor. And the bathroom was like all the way at the other end. And there was this British officer coming through the doorway. And I've never been more berated in my life for spitting into a trash can than by that British officer. You fucking Americans. Or however the fuck he talked. I don't remember. Did you have a bad day? Anyway. Fast forward to second deployment. I worked with, talked about this Monday too. SASR, got a cool little coin from them. I'll cherish that one. I worked with some other guys. Yeah. Where'd OBL go? Into the water somewhere. Yeah. He's probably got eaten by sharks. I don't know. Australian rappel, yeah. Before Mafia, yep. And I was the only enlisted member of my shop too, so that was interesting. Poland's buying Abrams' other modern system. Isn't it important to have modern optics on every soldier's rifle? Not iron sights? No, not necessarily. I mean, that'll be helpful. It'll increase the baseline marksmanship capabilities and standard of the soldiers that use it. I would say the tanks are important though. To commando? No, not as. It's really difficult for me to remember exactly. I don't know. First of all, let me clarify. I don't know enough about Australian Special Forces to be able to say who I did and did not work with. All I know is they were SASR. And the mission that we worked on was hostage rescue. And that's also as far as I can say. If that makes sense. Yeah, I wouldn't know, Ben. There are dudes hitting steel at 100 plus yards with buffalo guns. Yeah, like Sharps carbines and shit, you know? Like, Yeah, I wouldn't say, you know, modern optics are necessary. Can they make you better? Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Yep. Still have to practice sound fundamentals with it, though. Were you involved with Bergdahl? Technically, yes. Not in the military, though. That was early in my civilian career. But technically, yes. Just from a... Not in country. So that would have been while I was here in the States. And from a different perspective than you might think. In places in the UK, they still flog people for spitting in the street. I just don't understand what climbed up his ass to climb up mine for like my dude. I don't know you. I remember when I loved to talk to myself, dude, I love you, but this is a bit much. I'm just answering questions, homie. You know? I don't feel like playing video games, and I have the opportunity to go live 3 times a week. You know, I'm happy to jump in and play a couple rounds of, what do you call it? Call of Duty. You know how pandas make babies? I'm sure you're going to tell me. Will we ever get back in Syria with the Kurds? I mean, I'm under the impression we probably still are. Yeah, just chatting streams are absolutely a thing. You know, there just isn't a category for them on YouTube, as far as I can tell. There might be. I don't know. Hey, Robert, thanks for becoming a patron, dude, on Patreon. I appreciate that, man. Patreon's still new. I don't fully understand how I'm going to leverage it. I just know that there's more things that I intend to do than just YouTube. You know? Thanks for choosing to be here. No, this is my me time. Like this is what I enjoy is talking with people. You know, but here's the thing. If all of us were in a room together, I'm not going to be talking to you. I'm going to be sitting in the corner with a beer. Right? This is like the only way that I can like engage at this level. I don't know how to small talk with people in person. I turn into like this really awkward nipple touching dude that yeah, Seattle. That's kind of what I'm getting at. Thoughts on recent substation attacks? Oh, I did see that comment earlier. I meant to talk about that. I don't have many thoughts on it. You know, I do have a friend that most of you guys are probably familiar with that lives in the area of where at least some of them occurred. Mr. Guns and Gear. I shot him a text and was like, "What's up with this, man?" And all he could really do is laugh. But I haven't spent enough time really looking into it to better understand if it is a national phenomenon or a coincidental localized phenomenon, right? So what I mean by that is it a tide that's turning nationally, or is it something that somebody saw happen once and imitated again? You'd be in the other corner? I didn't get a nipple touch. Scott, thanks very much for subscribing, dude. It was done by pros. Upper Echelon on YouTube has a great video for it. Okay. Did you hear about when we had power taken out recently? I think that's what he's talking about, Draco. Substation attack. not a sub attack. When can I expect the first version of the RonnieFit watermark that covers the whole screen? Today, if you guys really want it, you know, we can just start to trademark shit that we don't need to, you know, so everybody knows that the idiot on the screen is actually me. You know, I actually don't have a great time talking about myself. I just do my best to answer as many questions as I can. I run into that problem all the time with the missus. You know, she always wants to, you know, have a conversation. I don't know what to say unless I'm asked a question. I don't know. Like, I could have the most eventful day ever. Get home, she'll be like, you know, how was your day? I'm like, it's good. Well, what'd you do? Oh, well, I did these 5 things. And then she'll extrapolate other information out of me by asking a question. She'll also make it scroll from top to bottom and wiggle like the DVD logo. Just waiting for it to hit the corner. You should do some Funker and Ronnie wallpapers. We have a community wallpaper. It's this one. Comes in 4K, 1440p, and 1080. Yeah, I don't know what to talk about until people ask me questions. Can do a poll. Should we kill all the pandas? No. I like sleeping in my own bed. 5:30 calendar. Where do I download it? In the Discord. So in the Discord there is a channel labeled Community Graphics. So in the Community Graphics channel, you can get banners, 1080p desktop, even a Facebook banner, the logos, and 1440p and 4K. But if you guys do go and grab these, make sure you click on Open Original, because that'll actually pull it up in 4K. Make a poll pro panda and not. To be honest with you, these are the issues that we need to be talking about. You know, are there actually anti-panda people? Or is it all propaganda? Get Funker in the coop. Ronnie's shirts. Josh is wearing a hard head. Where's Will? Probably fishing or hunting somewhere. Propaganda. .1080's me, still not on 4K yet. I'm not either. I'm on 1440. You know. Will doing stuff, but Segsy. You guys want to see Will? Speaking of Segsy. Hold on. Oh, come on. Josh, are you still out there? Where can I find the video? Yes. Oh my God, yes. This is actually Will. I'm not kidding. Not kidding. It's Will. Hold on, let me turn on dark mode. There we go. Oh, there's Will. Yeah. Will went to Ukraine. Anyway. Here's your link if you want that. Yeah, good morning. If you needed a wake up. Do you own any suppressors that will go night? No, I don't have any whisper pickles, man. I want one real bad though. What'd Jaden do? Hold on. Putting that in my wall hacks full. Party boy. You have 8K, Brendan? Oh, man, that's awesome. Spamming that comment. What was the comment? Oh, okay. It bums me out we can't have whisper pickles here. Yeah. I want one real bad. It's just not in the budget at the moment. I had dollar bills ready to throw. Seeing an oil filter do a hell of a job in a pinch. Yeah, don't they make solvent traps that can... I'm pretty sure all those solvent traps were just bait. I never even clicked on the shit. I was like, nope, scrolling. Nice try. Yeah. The little... You know what I need? I need a little push button where I can have the little ATF guy with the hat come up out of the corner. Oh, man, I bet I could make that. I bet I could make that and just push a button and he goes, boop, boop. Soldiers are forced to strip for a livable wage. Move to Texas, get all the whisper pickles you want. For me, it's not that I can't get it. It's that they're spendy. They're expensive for no reason. I don't think. Here's the thing, right? Backup iron sights. I got a pair of X-Sight backup irons sitting on the other table over there. They are spendy. Like a lot. There are a lot of dollars for any like attachment parts. You know, any just like a grip is like $30. It's a piece of plastic. What the do? Then you have to pay an extra $200. Yeah, that's a racket. That's an absolute racket. What the do? Yeah, we got hosed on that one. Shamans, thanks for the $1. A piece of pipe. It doesn't make sense. It's because of it. It's because of an general ignorance to its use and capabilities. Right. That's fundamentally what the problem is. If anybody can argue something otherwise, I'm all ears. But it's going to make it silent so you don't know where it came from. Not how it works. It's not how it works. GoFundMe? I'm not starting up a fucking GoFundMe for a suppressor. No. No. Maybe I will now. Yeah. Yeah. Now accepting donations to the Whisper Pickle Fund. Why not? You started a podcast. No, I didn't. This is a gaming stream. If you couldn't tell. That's how it works if you're a politician. Would you ever buy a bullpup? Sure. Yeah. You know, I had that for a long time. You guys actually talked me out of it, too. For a long time, I had this unrealistic fear of firing a bullpup left-handed because of ejection. And you guys were like, that's the stupidest thing ever. You know, there are a lot of bullpups that let you just swap that shit around. And I didn't know that. I grew up very, Dario, thanks for the 2. I grew up really backwoods with my firearms experience, lever actions and bolt actions, the occasional handgun, but not really all that often. And in the Army, unless it was issued by the regular Army, I never really got a chance to use it. I've fired just about every standard issue system that the Army has to offer, just about. The deuce on down. Never had a SCAR, never got issued a SCAR, never fired a SCAR. Never got issued a suppressor. I've only shot 1 round out of a suppressed weapon. But again, go fund me for MVGs. I'll start that shit right now. I have no reason to desire NVGs. I just want them. They're just too expensive. They will eventually fail, and it's, $15,000 down the tube. What state you in? Virginia. Yeah, I don't mind telling you guys what state I'm in. Only if part of making laws was researching basic functionality of what the laws affect. Yeah, that'd be weird, right? The amount of research that goes into some of these laws and that is entirely omitted from others blows my mind. You did that 1 round count though, right? No, I just popped it off. Sent it. Can you reload an AT4? No, you can't. Single use. I fired an AT4. I probably took out a kindergarten or something somewhere when it pinged off the top of my practice tank that I hit it with. I don't know. Some lady's flower garden got destroyed afterwards. It just went like this. I don't know what to tell you. Left-handed shooters can run a right-handed bolt easier than a right-handed shooter. I disagree. I think you're basing that off of being able to keep your firing hand on the system. But because of where the bolt lies and under most circumstances the weight of the rifle, I think it's still easier to operate the bolt right-handed when I'm shooting a right-handed system. I shoot lefty, right? And in the AR 500 armor review I did, you can see that it's just a little bit more awkward as a lefty. A law? No. Nope. I want to though. Now don't take my general lack of experience outside of standard issue stuff to mean anything but just I haven't shot other stuff. I shoot very well. Nobody's perfect. I've got a lot to learn, a lot to grow into. But to the point to where, I teach, I do all of our, in fact, there's a bunch of photos that I each time I teach a class, I end up posting about it. I did the 249 class last month. The month before that, I taught a foreign weapons course. I focused the foreign weapons course on the AK though, because they always try to introduce like the Uzis because they're the cool ones and everybody wants to fuck around with the Uzi, but nobody sticks with learning at least the most prolific weapon system in the world, which is the AK. Brendan, thanks for the 190. Appreciate that. I've never shot a gun, but I've shot it twice. Yikes. In Texas, you can own recoilless rifles. I mean, why can't I own a recoilless rifle? Is that specifically frowned upon in, like, Virginia, for instance? Where could I buy an RPG? Well, there is an individual recently in the news that probably has a couple you can pick up if you can find a way to contact him. Yeah, I want an AK. If I had to pick 3 guns in succession that I would pick up next, it would be trading in the Remington on a more precision platform, bolt action, specifically for left hand. It would be an AK, and then it would be a shotgun. My current shotgun is a cheapo $300 Stevens 320. It's modeled after the Ithaca 37, and it's got all kinds of problems with it. It was used when I bought it. It's cheap. Something to have a shotgun. Buy a shotgun. Shotguns are violent, by the way. Those would be the 3 guns, and then you have like a whole laundry list of like 2,000 other guns that I would just want to have, just because. I don't necessarily need any of those. Why not a TRX mounted MLRS? I said gun. Hey, Owen, how are you, man? We'll be curious what AK you end up getting. So I've shot many an AK, and one I was considering for a little while was Kalashnikov USA. But I think what I'll end up going with is something a little bit more budget friendly, and I will go with a PSA. That's what I'll probably end up doing. Having shotgun's good. Yeah, I have a shotgun. Yeah. It's a piece of junk. It doesn't fire buckshot. Like, unless it's the old crusty, what I need to do is I need to go out, and I just haven't done this. I actually haven't. That poor shotgun hasn't been cleaned since I got it. Like, the amount of times I've cleaned my Daniel Defense is infinitely more than, and I just got the Daniel Defense 3-4 months ago, infinitely more than I've cleaned the shotgun, and I don't shoot it often enough either. But what I need to do is I need to go out and get a couple different loads of like double-aught, and fire each of those in it to see if it's like a bad batch of ammo that I've got. You a fan of the Desert Eagle? Not really. I wouldn't mind having one. Just have one. I don't know. I've shot one, but that would not be my next purchase. Like, what would I use that for? What missile would you choose to put on the wall if you could have any live one you wanted? Probably the Hellfire with the swords. What's that one? You know the one I'm talking about. Would you consider getting an F90 or EF88? I don't know what either of those things are. Well, my Benelli M3 Super 90. Yep. I'm still stuck on the 1301. The 1301 is where I'll end up going, probably. Musket is the way, dude. Verily, that thing will blow your head off. I didn't know that all muskets were running 9mm ammunition. See y'all next stream. Stayed here way too long. I regret nothing. Thanks for hanging out with me for a little bit, man. I appreciate you. Hellfire R9X variant with a kinetic warrior pop-out blades. The thing is badass, dude. I would, yeah. If I could have one of those just to have it, that's the one I'd want. Oh, the EF80, the Aussie standard issue rifle. Yeah. I know that by look, not necessarily by name. Yeah, I wouldn't hate having it. Again, one of those things that's just, yeah, sure, let's do it. I'm all about it. I have like a priority list for guns, though. And to be honest with you, the shotgun's probably closer to the top. My top priority firearm is a precision platform bolt action, because that's an area of shooting that I really, really want to get into. Time, money, energy are prohibitive of that right now. From an actual practicality perspective, I need to replace my shotgun that I have. Like I don't trust it. And having a gun you don't trust kind of defeats the purpose of having it. So from a priority perspective of wants, it's the precision platform. Needs, I need to replace the shotgun, and I need at least 2 more handguns. My handgun list is relatively short. I've got an old Colt Mustang that I've been thinking about getting repaired. It's all beat up and there's missing parts to it. It was a buddy's. He just gave it to me because that's legal. Anyway, I mean, it doesn't work. And technically it meets the requirements of being an antique, but whatever. Yeah, so I need a few more handguns. And shotgun. Those are like necessities for me. And then the list of wants, which technically starts to bleed into the needs. I need a caliber 30-06 or greater, because I'm continuously asked to test Armored Republic stuff, and a lot of it's level 4, which with a 30-06, at that point I am testing at level 4 standard, just not at the armor piercing standard. So that starts to bleed into the needs from like a work perspective, but it's also a desire. So that's why I originally had that up top. And then it's the AK, and the AK is also technically starts to bleed into the needs because it'd be considered what armor companies call a common round, testing capabilities of things against 7.62x39. Important. No, I haven't handled the XM5. Here's the funny thing about the XM5. The original overarching IDIQ contract was awarded for just over $4 billion for the XM5 and the XM250, right? The M250, XM250. Now, the first award on that contract vehicle, so you have the original contract award, which is $4 billion. That's not a check that was written and handed over. That's not the way contracts work. The way contracts work is you have an overarching contract, and then you do multiple awards underneath of that. For delivery, the $4 billion is the ceiling value. That's up to $4 billion can be spent to acquire these things. The first 20 some odd million dollars of that contract was just awarded. We've talked about this before. That $20 million accounted for 25 XM5s and 15 XM250s. 25 rifles and 15 machine guns. And here's the real interesting part. From an actual delivery standpoint, those didn't even go to a unit that's going to actually use them. Those went for testing. We're witnessing the inner workings of Ronnie's brain and the justification. Yeah, it's the way my brain works is real weird, man. So imagine that. If $20 million equates to 25 rifles and 15 machine guns, how long do you think it's going to be until a nobody in the military like me sees that? Long time. I probably won't be in the military by the time those, if that ever happens, filter their way down to the types of units that I'm assigned to now. One of the rules these days for bringing stuff back from overseas, say for example, oh no, that's not happening. Nope, not in the U.S. military. I'll tell you that for certain. You get shook the F down. It still happens at like the leadership levels. You know, it does. There are people that get hemmed up all the time for like smuggling shit. But at a lower level, you get caught doing that. You do iron bars, like 100%. Yeah. No. Mm-mm. As a warrant officer, I imagine you'll get to handle one, but not be assigned. Yeah, maybe. Like, yeah, if there's a lot of warrant officers in the Army, though, you know, like. I don't know. It's a great question, Spets. I don't know specifically what you're talking about, that, but those are the kinds of instances that I am talking about. Is leadership has its privileges and loopholes. Like he shot in the dark. But here is a scenario that I can see something like that happening. You know, he goes to his general superior, they're on a first name basis, right? These are decision makers. Goes to his general superior and is like, hey, there's this Toyota, from a material exploitation perspective, I think we need to take it back to the States. You know, and that general's like, yeah, sure. All right. Draw up a, Department of the Army Form 6969, whatever the fuck that would be. I don't know if that's a thing. And fill it out, make sure the T's are crossed and I's are dotted. That kind of shit still happens. Now, if the instances that I'm talking about there were people early in Iraq and Afghanistan that were like taking apart Humvees, putting AKs and shit in them, and bringing them back from overseas. Hey, Dad, how's the rap album studio session? It was good Tuesday. I'm supposed to have it again tomorrow, but there's a lot of ice on the ground, and there's winter weather advisory, and I'm not sure how that's gonna go at all. What about ruling on keeping your service rank? No, absolutely not. Mm-mm. No, I can't tell you how many new different M4s I've been issued. Even with the same unit, each time I go to the range, I'm convinced it's a different rifle. Well, I know it's a different rifle. It's got different serial numbers. It's a different rifle every time. That's not normal. But it is kind of normal for reserve. Having your rifle is a fantasy idea. And that's actually one of my jobs now with my current unit is I took over the armory duties and the foreign weapons maintenance. One of my functions is supposed to be enabling the same rifle with weapons cards, the same way the same way it's supposed to be, that just nobody took the time to do. It's very normal for reserves to get activated. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, now once you get activated and you go to your pre-mob, you're going to have the same rifle. Technically, my first deployment, I was issued a 249. And was supposed to carry that. And then, like a week before we left, they were like, we're not going to need that. You get an M4 now. So. Yeah, but here's the thing, Mike and Reginald, it's not supposed to be normal. Like, you are still supposed to have your rifle because you're not supposed, technically speaking, you're supposed to verify zero. You're not supposed to have to re-zero a rifle every time you go. The reserves kind of uses that as an opportunity to get more reps, but the zero verification process is absolutely a thing. And you're supposed to be able to start there. I mean, the Texas National Guard got CHK. Nice, man. So where my unit does do cool stuff is we own and we're actually the only Department of Defense unit that conducts technical intelligence. And what that is imagine, as a strike force for, the infantry guys out there, you go out on target and you run into like a BDRM, right? And it's got modifications to it. You know, it's been modernized in some way. You guys are like, holy shit, there's intel value here. Well, as the strike force, under normal circumstances, you're probably not going to have the capability to exploit and recover that. What my unit would do is, you know, we are a self-sufficient unit, so we can come out, we can meet you there without you needing to come back to get us. We can meet you there, and we can measure it. We could take fingerprints. We can exploit that, understand the modifications that have been made to it. You know what the value of that is, from the tactical level all the way up to the strategic level, right? And we can recover it. So we have drivers, we've got wreckers. Every MOS you could imagine is in my unit. It's a really cool mission, and we're the only unit in the DoD that still does it. It used to be an active duty unit, and the last time this unit deployed was 2003. I got assigned to this unit like 2019, 2020, something like that. But it's a pretty cool mission. You know, I don't hate it at all. It gets me exposed to a lot of where I was going with this. Is the cool and the fun stuff I get to do is because of that function. We are required to own and maintain a litany of foreign weapons. I've got everything in my arms room from P90s to G3s to, you know, old Russian AKs. I've got a couple like early generation original AK-47s. I've got AKMs, of course. I've got what's the SVD, but it's the Iraqi version with the palm trees on the magazine. The magazine for the SVD is one of the dead giveaways of where exactly the specific SVD you're looking at comes from. I don't remember what it is though. I'm not a foreign weapons expert. I teach a very basic and fundamental foreign weapons course for our unit, as a part of the overarching Tech Int operators course, which is cool. What else do we have? We've got Uzis. You know, I've got, of course, PKMs, all kinds of cool stuff. Yeah, it's a really cool mission, really cool unit. I don't hate it at all. You were ordered to take it down due to safety? Ugh. What is that fucking thing called? Iraqi SVD. The Al Qadija. Mm-hmm.
Hey guys, welcome to.
No, I don't want to watch that. I'll just mute it. But I'll show you. I'll show you the magazine. This is from the Firearm blog, and I'm a fan of theirs.
Welcome to
Al Qadija. Yeah, right there. Right there. So that's what I mean by the magazine. Got a little palm tree on it. That's your first dead indicator that it's the Iraqi version of it. And then the next indicator is actually the handguards and how many slots the handguards has. I don't remember exactly what the differentiator there is, though. Which foreign weapon would you prefer to be shooting at you? None of them. I would prefer if none of them did. If I'm being honest. Do you like the Uzi? I liked it. The most experience I have with the Uzi is the armorer's course for it. And it's amazing how simplistic it was, or it is. You know, when you pick it up, it's heavier than you think it's going to be because it's just sheet metal. And the reason it's so heavy is the bolt. The bolt on the Uzi is almost is if I had to give a rough percentage, top of my head, 70% is just weight. It's just there to be weight to slow down its fire rate. Oh, they're armed with this? No sweat. I don't know. 380s? Maybe a Makarov? I hate the Makarov. I just don't like it. I don't like it. It's better than the Browning High Power. Browning High Power is a piece of junk. I don't care how many people like it. John Moses and Browning designed it. I don't care. You know, the summation of my experience with the Browning High Power is taking it apart and putting it back together in an armorer's class. And if I never have to do that again, I will be better for it. Israelis know how to make guns. One of my favorite early guns that I loved to research was the Galil. I don't know. There was something about it. It was, it was in Call of Duty Black Ops. Yeah, when I started really getting into like foreign guns and stuff, and I wouldn't even say I'm really into it anymore at all, even outside of what my unit has, which we have some of these Al-Khadijas. So, the Galil was awesome. Just like, it was different than everything else, you know, that, I knew of at the time. Doug.
Outstanding.
Israelis know how to make guns. All right, guys, I stayed actually longer than I expected to. Once again, we did another just chatting stream, and again, I love these. It's different, and I like it. You know, I never thought that that we'd end up spending 2.5, 3 hours just chatting, but I enjoy them quite a bit. You know, it's a great way for me to just chat, hang out with you guys, and talk, and rewind from the Funker stream. It's awesome. What I don't want to end up happening is for us to lose track in sight of the Fit PC. But we are hopefully by Friday. They still haven't released the funds on PayPal. If you're out there, EMT, it's not your fault. It's PayPal. They're just making sure I'm not money laundering or something. Don't hold it against them. I hate them for it, but I don't at the same time. So hopefully Friday we'll be able to order the next Fit PC, and then we won't be charging for the next one until the beginning of the year. So we'll start up again on January 1st to try to get the next PC order, but we'll have done 2 this month, and that's fucking awesome. So thank you again for that. I did just a little bit earlier, brother. We appreciate your show. I'm happy you do. That matters more to me than I can really explain. Just got done watching the Civ Div interview. It was good. Thanks, Joey. Thanks, man. Have a good night, man. Thanks, guys. I'm out of here. I need to go eat dinner. I ate a little bit. I had 1 half chicken breast and like a half cup of rice. I'm gonna go make a snack. I need to probably shoot an email, ask about what's going on for tomorrow's recording session in the booth, and we'll see you guys at the latest on Friday, 6 o'clock over on the Funker side, and then we'll be right back here. It will be Community Games Friday with, I think with Nerf Night, and that means that we'll be playing games. Probably going to do another night of COD. I think what'll be interesting is if Tarkov wipes. If Tarkov wipes, I might take that opportunity to forego community games and try and hammer out a few early quests. We'll talk about it. We'll figure it out. I appreciate all of you guys. Brandon, thank you again for the 138. Del Real for the 147. Shamans, thank you for the $1. Sonny Chris for the $2. Anthony for the $5. And for all the membership renewals. Good night, guys. I'm out of here.
Good night, ladies. Good night.